Hey, everyone, you okay? We'll just wait for. Here he is. Just waiting for Chandler to tune in. Here he
Yo,
is. How you doing, bro?
man, I'm amazing. I'm on a bike because I was looking at all your stuff and I realized that if I'm gonna be on IG Live with the Imam and Machine King, like I can't let any time get away as far as trying to catch up. So this is me trying to
I,
catch up.
I trained with a guy called Dan, and we saw your GHD 100 GHD time,
Okay, did you guys go for it?
and just no, because I tried a minute flat out, and I was still way off your pace. It's
The
insane speed.
the noodle arms are not good for much in this old sport of CrossFit, but GHDs are probably close. It's the only
Yeah,
thing I got.
yeah, we were nowhere near. We were like 2 minutes off. Just crazy speed on that, mate.
Well, see, you got me back recently because you did the 30 minutes of rotating through the three faster than or at a better pace than I did the Miko's triangle, which has a minute of rest. And that blew my mind. I was like, man. So I don't think I'm bad at machines. Like, there's some stuff I think I'm good at, and then there's always levels
Yeah,
to it.
I think being 100 kilos and relatively fit definitely makes you very good on machines.
Relatively fit's an understatement. You're very fit. So I know we got folks rolling in. I've seen a couple questions just to get this thing started. We're pretty much just hanging out, like getting a
Yep.
chance to talk. We're both happen to be NOCO dudes, which is kind of what linked us up with this. But I don't know, man. I haven't. These are always fun. Like Noah and I did a few workouts where we got the chance to talk to some people, and especially with all the goofy stuff that's happened. And then like for me as an African American versus you as someone of some African heritage in England, like I'm sure there's some interesting topics there. So I think there's gonna be a lot of what's up, Logan? A lot of interesting stuff to talk about. So, but the first thing I want to start off with was somebody asked about crunchy and soft tacos. Do you guys even have tacos in Britain? Is that like a thing?
Was that crunchy?
Yeah, crunchy or soft tacos.
Yeah, we have crunchy. It's a chocolate. It's like a honeycomb chocolate covered in a chocolate bar.
Tacos?
I thought you said crunchy.
Yeah, yeah, but there's crunchy tacos and soft tacos.
I think we've got a chocolate bar which is called crunchy.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about that.
I never heard of that. Is it good?
Yeah, super good. But I don't think you get that chocolate in the States.
We do the chocolate here sucks. We have it, but it's just terrible.
Yeah, I
Um,
think when I've been in the States, it's definitely our chocolate. I think's a little bit better.
yeah, that was probably my main takeaway from Europe was that we need better
One of
chocolate.
my mates is saying, "For fuck's sake, I think I got that wrong."
Got to work on it. All right, so we had a few. I'm just gonna go through I'll take it from the top. One I see was pretty interesting was, do you still have any concerns about CrossFit? You want to like give everybody back home a quick like update on what's happened, where you stood, and like kind
Yeah,
of
so
everything.
obviously when it all started, straight from Glassman's comment, obviously I've tried 6 years to qualify for the CrossFit Games, and it's been such a long like road, and it was such an achievement for me to actually finally qualify.
Yeah,
But even so, it wasn't a tough decision whether to be in or out of the games or out of CrossFit, because I couldn't be part of something where the CEO just come out with comments like that. So for me, as soon as that happened, I was out of the sport, like you weren't, and you weren't going to go to the games. And then obviously since then, and all the athletes coming together, it's brought a really good positive change. I think the sport and CrossFit still has further changes to make, and there's still a lot of things that need to be changed. But it's definitely a step in the right direction. It gives me confidence that they're willing to make the certain changes that are necessary.
cool. I'm in the same boat. It's funny because like the comments, like I'm listening to you, but then I'll see the comments. I'm gonna get to a couple of them real quick, and then I can answer that question from my side. One,
Yeah,
I am riding a bike. I also have incredible rhythm, so I'm always just kind of moving side to side, even off the bike. But I'm on the bike. And then somebody had asked before that, we get back into serious stuff. They said if you could pick any Concept 2 machine. And for those of you who don't know, like if some people come from my page and like you haven't seen Zack, Zack's probably the best machine athlete in the sport, which is really saying something. There's a lot of guys who can really hammer a machine, but I think of you, I think Krinikov, I think like Lucas Espencer, like
yeah,
you guys are
Krakowski. Yeah.
Brent's trash. He's terrible. But I think you guys is like dudes who can really, really punish a machine. So if you could only have one, which one would you end up with if you were locked in a room for 3 months?
I think for me it'd be a Concept 2 rowing machine.
I agree.
Definitely. Just because it can. I think the bike's really good, but again, it's very kind of leg dominant,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's harder to get a good cardiovascular session
I
compared
agree.
to a rower. And same for the ski erg. I normally fail on ski erg and biker because I've got too much lactic acid either in my quads or my arms, but the rower is brutal on your cardiovascular system. So
Yeah.
personally, I'd be rower.
I also like the rower too. I feel like it scales better for like you can do some really short, intense pieces. Someone was like, "You guys should do a 1K row." To that person, absolutely not. I don't fight battles. I know I'm going to lose, so I'm not going to do it. But like you can go crazy hard on a short distance, and then also crazy hard for like you could row a marathon. But like,
Yeah,
if
exactly.
if you tried to ski a marathon, your hands would fall off probably.
Yeah,
And
it's horrendous.
yeah.
So what's your thoughts on CrossFit going forward and everything that's gone on?
I'm super happy with it. Eric has like seemed to be willing to make a bunch of changes. I think in the absence of a CrossFit system, there was some like I don't know. You were there for some of the meetings and some of the games athletes had. Like there was thoughts about doing another event, and like some talks with event organizers and things like that. What's up, Noah? So
I didn't know you're right.
I think there's like the synthesis of the ideas that came from folks like trying to look to do things in their own lane, and then also the openness of CrossFit to work with like new ideas and stuff is gonna like when it comes together is gonna bring everybody a lot further forward.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening with that new concept. If that's still going to be going ahead or.
It's no. I think everybody's back to going to the games at this point. So,
But I mean for next season.
That's above me, man. I wish I knew. I know
Yeah.
there's some talks right now with the incoming CEO about all that. So he'll probably determine that. He'll have to like talk. The event organizers kind of agreed to talk in concert with each other. So I think they're coming to him on like a united front, and then that'll determine stuff going forward.
How you feeling for the games? You feeling good?
Dude, no. Rogue broke my back in half, man. I have not been like training at the level. Yeah. We did so much pulling from the floor, which is ironic because the guys who programmed it are not massive dudes. And I'm like, did neither of you guys think about how you guys would feel doing this workout? It was Chris Spieler and Josh Bridges who programmed it. And I was
I saw them workouts, and a lot of them suited me. I think that they were definitely like bigger dude sort of workouts.
Yeah, quite a few. And your toes to bar game is super strong. I think that was the most gymnasty one, so I think you would have done really well. But so my back gets better.
Is that an actual injury or just like soreness or?
I think it's closer to injury than I'd like to admit. I don't want to give the competition too much, but
of course, You'll be ready to smash it, mate.
I believe it. We'll see how it goes. What's up next for you? I know a couple people were asking things, and
obviously I was national champion, but then I was I think I was 25th in the Open. So once people like Rich Froning declined the spot for team events, things like that, I think I was one spot out of the top 20. Yeah, so I think I'm 21st. So it's quite hard because you just don't know whether I'm still going to get a spot or someone might not be able to fly or do you know what I mean? Someone could pull out for multiple reasons. So I'm just kind of training to potentially I still might get a spot, but then I'm not getting my hopes up too much.
What would be worthwhile is maybe reaching out to, and maybe you've already thought of this, but reaching out to Roman Krinikov or his or Snorri, like his agent. I know he's a European guy too, because if I know what I know, then I don't think he's going to be able to get in this year either. So that could potentially change the calculus in your favor a little bit.
Okay, yeah, because he has a problem flying to America, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it offline at some point.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to get any better.
Yeah, it's mental, but it'd be amazing to compete at the games because, like I said, it's been such a dream for so long to compete against the top people I've kind of watched, and you're one of the guys I've watched for years. So it would have been amazing to kind of compete alongside you all. But things can't be helped, can it? And it's out of your control. So you just gotta roll with the punches and move on.
Yeah, man. I think that's 100% the only attitude you can take towards it. And I think
Yeah.
like within CrossFit, like that resilience, I noticed myself, like I don't have it as much as I did maybe when I started, but it's like that quality is what helps you bounce back, because there's always going to be, given that we have an infinite amount of like movements and workouts, there's always going to be like some sort of unpredicted thing that happens, and then you got to be able to bounce with it. So having that attitude at a micro level is great. But I think I would bet if you're one spot out right now, I bet you're going to be able to find a way to get out here.
Fingers crossed.
I'm optimistic.
How's your during lockdown?
Dude, that's amazing. So I'm actually in my in the garage gym space right now. Mostly, so it's my buddy's wood shop within his garage, but also have a fair amount of equipment and everything that I need in here. So it was really like, it was honestly good. I think I came out of lockdown in better shape than I went in. So what about you?
Good. Yeah, obviously I had to bring everything to home, so I couldn't do a lot of the gymnastic things like bar muscle ups, toes bar, ring muscle ups.
Yeah.
But I just kind of, luckily for me, I don't really have to worry too much about weightlifting because of being a bigger athlete, I can always sling weight around. So that wasn't too much of an issue. So I just work a lot on fitness and gymnastics. And then I think after a couple of months, elite athletes were allowed to train at their usual premises.
Okay.
So then I could train in the gym. But yeah, I just miss training with your normal group.
Yeah.
I just thrive off atmosphere and being around people. So that was like a big area I missed out on. But,
who's normally in your group? You said you mentioned Dan earlier. Like who's your squad?
Dan Wagner. I've got one of my coaches, good friend Bruno, who I train a lot with. A guy called Harmy, who's had class as my coach. And then they're probably the people I train with closely. And then I've got a number of people like Ian, Cav, a guy called Dan, who train with me periodically through the week. But yeah, I've got a really good support team around me. I think that makes a massive difference for an athlete.
Huge. Yeah. My brother got stuck here for I guess it ended up being like 3.5 months because he couldn't go back to school. So he ended up kind of joining the crew, and I got my roommate Vic, got my buddy Haddon, and then all the folks from work too. Like I had a really good environment, and same thing. Like I made a lot of gains, I think, because it was just a great atmosphere.
Frog.
This guy just asked, and I'm sorry that we're missing folks. We were in the conversation.
We'll make sure we scroll back up and answer all your questions once we've finished having a little catch up.
Yeah. But the guy who said that I asked about the ideal competitive weight, you said you're 100 kilos, which has to make you like
it's
outside
not mine.
of Brent. Not yours, really? Too big?
Well, he said, "What's the ideal weight?" And I said, "It's not mine."
Man, I don't know, man. You're like, given the focus on gymnastics and stuff that you put on, and like how fit you are from like a cardiovascular perspective, like you make it work. Your dimensions are bigger. So, like for you, that's probably 100 kilos is probably pretty close to like what makes you as good as you are.
Yeah, I think 100 kilos is my general weight that I train at throughout the year, and then when I go to any competitions, I get down to about 98. So that 2 kilos I can feel makes a massive difference. Just because it's just things like movement speed. I just like the difference between moving at 100 kilos to 97, 98 kilos. Mm-hmm. That alone is a massive difference. And I think it's like the open workout this year. I can't remember. It was the dumbbell thrusters, double unders, and toast bar. Was it 20-minute AMRAP?
Yeah, 20.2.
Yeah, so that they're all like some of my strongest movements, but I just couldn't get a good score at it. Like I got a decent score, but like compared to like the top in the world, I just couldn't move those short reps speed fast enough.
Yeah, long arms.
That's one of the biggest things I have to work on as an athlete is rep speed and try and move as fast as I can for my size.
The thing is, I think it's relative because like in the open for a workout like that where it's not heavy enough to really differentiate and everyone's basically moving through it all constantly for 20 minutes, like that's a rep speed test more than it is like a fitness test. You know, like there's no, if you're short enough and you can't go much faster on that workout than maybe some other people. So that was my worst finish too. And I think it's kind of the long arms. Like you can only go so fast, and then over a ton of movements, like it'll just slow you down.
I always never want to use an excuse. I always feel like I should still be really good because it's my best movements. But like the people around me is like, Zack, you're moving as fast as you can, and you just can't do anything else. Yeah, it's like you just got to admit that your size, the length of your arms, and the size and the weight of you, you're just not going to be able to be as good as you think you can be in certain workouts, which you just got to swallow that pill, I suppose.
Yeah. As long as, again, it's not an excuse. It's like admitting like that's you've correctly identified maybe what's holding you back in that area, and then you don't have to worry about like the why. You know why, and then you can get back to working on it. You can try and move faster, but you can also put that energy in other places too. So I think it's being a smart athlete.
How do you find the Open? The stress of it and just the whole process.
Man, it is, as you know, like for any of us, especially guys like us, we're like, I finished 22nd this year, so I was like basically right next to you, and like we're kind of on the edge of folks who are good enough to make it, but then also, you know, like we got a penalty or something. It was wildly stressful. I took a penalty, like I said, on 20.2 because I was doing 23 double unders, and that made like the last 3 weeks very stressful. But I always try to mitigate it. Like I did pretty much all the open workouts at somewhere besides my home gym, and I think like the travel and like seeing old friends and kind of just put myself in new and different environments has always been something. Like for the last 3-4 years, I haven't done every time I've done the Open, I've always like been to at least 3 gyms over the course of the Open to do it. So yeah, that's kind of how I mitigate it. But what about you?
Yeah, I'm a super laid back guy, so I don't get too stressed. I think everyone around me, everyone always around is like, what's wrong with you? Like you just like gear up. You don't look stressed about the workout, or I think that's just my nature. I'm just quite laid back. But I think I felt a massive difference after the Open. So once the 5 weeks is up, and obviously it's such an intense 5 weeks, and you're in your peak physical condition, you're so mentally dialed in. And I think after the Open finished, I expected to. Obviously, you still had to have scores validated, but I won the UK, and I would have thought I would have been ecstatic, and I just would have been buzzing. I would have been so like motivated to sort of train and get back into the gym, and literally I had no motivation or anything for about 2 months after the Open, and I think I underestimated how much those 5 weeks took out of me.
Yeah, I think the mental and emotional toll, like, is it because you're so jacked up on adrenaline for most of the 5 weeks, you don't feel it, but then like afterwards it hits you like, you haven't been training, you've been competing for 5 weeks, which is a lot to ask.
Yeah, and for 2 months after, I was just mentally and physically battered. Yeah. And I just needed that time off and it took that long for me to want to feel like happy about my achievement and actually want to get back into training and start training for the games.
Well, that makes like, because you went to Dubai and I feel like you did pretty well outside of the top 10.
I was 14th or 13th, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
But I just did that. I wasn't in great shape at all, like, because I didn't really train much. I just did it because I love competing, and I've always wanted to compete in Dubai. Yeah. So that's been like a big goal of mine. But so I did all right, but I wasn't in great shape. But such a cool competition.
Yeah,
because you were there, weren't you?
I was there for about 13 hours, and then I got called back. Yeah, big bummer. I wish I was over there, but that stinks. Can't win them all.
Yeah. Right, I'm just going to scroll through to some of these just to try and chip away at some of them because we've got loads of questions in.
Cool.
Right. What's more important in fitness, food or exercise?
Exercise for me, man. I don't eat well at all. I'll be the first to tell you.
Do you not?
No, not close.
Genetics.
I'd say a lot of it. I think we'll probably end up getting to this later, but from what I've seen of your training and my training, we both do a lot more traditional conditioning than we do like straight up CrossFit. And I think like the caloric demand of like an hour-long piece versus a 10-minute CrossFit piece kind of necessitates some different eating. And given the wrestling background, I've always kind of just been under eating for like the last 10 years. So I don't eat a ton of food, but it's never crazy clean. That's the
same for me. I eat clean when I'm like at class now. If I'm not going to the games, it'd be an off season for me. But when I'm prepping for a good competition, I won't have any cheat meals, and my diet will be very strict because I just put on weight ridiculously easy. So my calorie intake is 3,500, which is hardly anything for someone my size. And yeah, honestly, for someone my size and how much I train cardio. Yeah. Because I literally, if I was on 4,500 calories, 5,000, my weight would shoot up to like 102. Wow. 103, and it's like it would be good weight, it'd be muscle weight, but I'm just too heavy.
Yeah, for the
So
gymnastics and stuff.
yeah, so I found like the minimum I can eat and still perform well. So yeah, people always think I eat a lot more than what I actually do, but that's always worked best for me.
Interesting. You
So
said too that you stay at 100 kilos, or you said 100 kilos.
yeah, when I'm like when I'm out not far away from a competition, I'm 100 kilos.
Okay. I was trying to do
But so then,
the math for myself. It's hard. I'm not fast enough to do it
oh
quickly.
yeah, 'cause you're in pounds, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah, so yeah,
walk around at 90. That's 198
90
pounds. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then when I compete, I'm about 98 kilos,
Cool.
and I feel a massive difference in that. But
Yeah.
to answer the question, I would say fitness is probably more important because you've got athletes who like you don't eat ridiculously strict, but you're an absolute animal. So, but then nutrition is still important. So
Yeah.
it's a it's a balance. But yeah, I'd definitely say fitness is probably more important.
Yeah. And it's not like I don't eat trash all the time. Obviously, before a competition or like, because for me too, like I dropped down to like 87 and a half kilos is my competing weight, like 193. So if I am like I can't just show up and expect that weight to drop. Like I have to kind of
Yeah,
fix that a little bit. So
yeah, yeah. Um, how long you
what's up,
been
David?
training?
For me, I've been like training for the last 13 years. I've been doing CrossFit since 2010, and I've been like trying to compete in CrossFit since 2015. So a couple different
Yeah.
answers. What about you?
Yeah, for me, so I've been training. I used to play a lot of rugby, so I played a high level of rugby up to the age
Really?
of 8. Yeah, yeah.
11,
Um,
just like 15 aside, or did you play some sevens?
yeah,
I played a ton of sevens.
yeah, 15. So I used to play sevens as well. Sevens is such a good game.
Yeah.
But then I have really bad ankles and feet. So if anyone knows me, I suffer a lot of issues with my feet because I'm
Okay.
extremely flat foot. Um, so I had to stop playing rugby due to that. And then I found CrossFit in 2000 and I found it in 2013 and then started training in 2014. And then I probably went full time, like really dedicating my time to get to the games in 2016, I think it was.
Okay, that makes sense. I remember, so in 2018, I was deployed to, or 17, 18, I was deployed, rotated in Bulgaria. And so I think we were in the same regional, like the same region then, because Bulgaria was somehow in Europe North. And I remember I think that was your first year regionals. Was that 18?
2018, yeah, it was, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's, I think, when I first started following you and seeing
yeah.
your stuff. And really, really impressive. You made a strong performance. I think you were mid
Mid
teens.
pack, yeah, mid pack. And regionals was again, I didn't take regionals as serious as I probably should have. It was just a complete celebration for me.
Okay,
I
just
was
to
just,
be there.
yeah, I was just so happy to be there. I was like, I don't care what happens. I'm literally just gonna have fun, and yeah, I loved it. It's such a good experience.
So follow-on question then: if this is your first year at the games, is the games a celebration? Or are you going to go there and be ready to beat some
Yeah,
people?
yeah, I'd go to seriously compete at the
All right,
games.
there we go.
I
That's the right
think,
answer.
yeah, the 2018 regionals was my first big ever sort of achievement in CrossFit, and I was still like, I probably didn't have the confidence as an athlete that I was good enough to be at the top or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was literally like, I'm just so happy to be here. Like I'm literally just having fun, and I wouldn't change how I approached it at all because it was such a great trip for me, and it was the last one that we did. So
Yeah,
yeah, I wouldn't have changed a thing. But yeah, for now, I'm a very different athlete now and got a very different mentality. So I would 100% go to put on a show at the games, definitely.
maturity in the sport. I'm going to ask a
Hey,
question here, quick from Ruth Wanjimer from Kenya. She's asking about Mayhem as a team individual. This is just a personal aside because I know a couple of you have asked this outside of this too. So I am doing both, even though they moved the Mayhem events like now end of August. It's a week long, and then the game's like 2 weeks later. I'm doing both. The priority is definitely Mayhem. I have a team of people who are expecting me to be able to perform for them. So like I can't like let those folks down. And then I honestly think it's a little bit easier than trying to. If it was at the beginning of August and the games is the middle of September, I would have to train for Mayhem, like peak, recover, train up again, and then taper, and then go to the games. Versus if it's all at the end, I can kind of just train up for Mayhem and then try and keep that high level of shape into the games. But I haven't even started It's, I don't know, and this might be something you could talk about too. I haven't started like training for the games. Like I feel like I need like a hard month
Yeah.
of games training, and we're still 7 weeks out. So like I haven't hit that button yet. How do you feel right now?
Yeah, and I think for me, our gym's open on the 25th of July.
Okay.
So that would be huge because then I've got like my whole team at the gym, and it makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
So I think I'm probably down about 3 or 4 sessions a week at the minute because I can't get to swimming pools. And yeah, it'd just be great that if the gym's open at the end of the month, then that would give me like a solid like couple of weeks to really sort of be in my usual environment and hammer some training in.
Yeah, that's I think that's honestly like all you need. The general fitness is high. There's like some skill stuff from my experience. Like I did a couple camps that occurred 5 and 3 weeks before the games last year. And like doing the camps, that's where my fitness jumped the most. Like everything else outside of that was like baseline normal training. But the camps of like competing, being in that zone, like I don't know what you do to replicate competitive environments, but doing that right was what got me prepared. So I think July 25th you'll be fine.
Yeah, 100%.
Plenty of time.
Your ethnicity?
Me?
Well, for me, my dad's from South American Guyana.
Okay.
So half South American, and then my mum's from England.
Did not know that. Let's see. There's French Guyana. No, so Guyana's in the middle. That's Georgetown, right? Or Jamestown?
Yeah, Georgetown.
Georgetown. Jamestown was the cult thing outside of that. My bad. And then French Guyana over there. Okay, super cool.
Yeah.
I don't know much about that. Have you ever been?
I've been once, and it was very eye-opening. It's just a completely different world. We stayed pretty much in the Amazon rainforest in a hut, and it was a cool experience, but I was way out of my comfort zone.
Okay, yeah, that's I've never stayed in a hut. I've not stayed in the Amazon. All those kind of sound like capital E experiences. Like within America, at least like if someone is of African American descent, there's not like a lot of I don't think people normally have a ton of knowledge on like on where they come from. You know what I mean? Like it's just generally like that's why it's like African American. It's not like there are Nigerian Americans. I know there's a high amount of like Nigerian immigrant population too in the UK as well. But like I've been told that I'm like Igbo heritage, which is one of these tribes from southern Nigeria. But it's not something that I've had like I haven't done testing on. That's something my parents did. It is a little bit different to like try and identify specifically where you're from, and I don't think people really care as much. Like basically, if you like, I think even for you, like if you were in America, people wouldn't necessarily. And I don't know if it's something that you identify with, or people like ask that question for you often, but like folks wouldn't say like, "Oh, are you from Guyana?" They'd be like, "Oh, you look kind of black. You're black." Like,
yeah. That's how it rolls. Someone's put who is stronger, and I think we're the same.
Oh, I was gonna give it to you.
What's your clean and jerk?
All right, so 360 clean and jerk, 300 snatch, 485 back squat, 620 deadlift. What am I missing? And then like a 245 strict press. So, what do you got?
I can't convert them.
Oh shoot!
My strict press is 110 kilograms. I don't know what that is in.
That's one win for Zack. Okay, this hand's me. This hand's Zack.
Your deadlift is 100% heavier than mine because I had it years ago. My clean and jerk is the last time I'd done it was 161 kilograms. I don't know what that is.
322 plus 32. That's me.
Snatch 127.5.
That's me.
And back squat, I don't know because I've not tested it in a very long time.
Are you so good at back squat that you don't need to test it anymore?
Yeah, I don't ever really back squat. I don't really do much strength block stuff because I don't.
Here's a better question. Someone asked your score in Miko's triangle, but I'm interested in knowing like what are your like machine PRs? Like you got to be like a 620, 615, 2K row guy, or how fast?
Yeah, I think I haven't done it in a while. I think the last time I did it was 6. I want to say 618, but I'd have to check. I'm not too sure.
That's disgusting.
But again, because I know it's a strength of mine, I don't test it too often.
Yeah.
Just because I know I'm quite good on machines.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw you did the Miko triangle. What reps did you do that at?
I averaged 19.9. I will say that was like my fourth workout of the day. I did with my buddy, so I gotta do it again to put up a better score because Miko said that everyone should get 20,
20.
and I did
Yeah.
not get 20. So what about you? Can you hold 22s?
Yeah, I've done 22 before.
Good golly.
It's a salt bike. You do it on a salt bike?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've done 22 about a year ago. So I'm due for a retest, and I want to aim for 23. It's all on the ski erg.
You know what's funny is that's not the case for me. For me, it's all assault bike. I can ski. I think I'm one of the better skiers. I can probably hang with you and Lucas on the ski erg, but like rowing and biking, there's no chance.
Do you sprint the bike?
Do I sprint it? No. I try and push. I think it's like a 610 pace to hold for 22s, like 6 or 10 watts. Do you use watts or RPMs? Important question.
RPM.
Oh no. That's devastating. I always tell people, I'm like, if you're doing RPMs, you're not taking it seriously, but you're better than me at it, so I suppose I'm wrong.
If I'm doing the Miko triangle, I'll sprint the bike. So I'll do it in about 15 seconds. Then I've got a massive rest. So I think that's the only way I could try and do 23 or 24 because I don't hammer the row and ski.
I don't do well like sprinting and come back down. I'm a very more pacing type athlete, which is why I sit on bikes for an hour and stuff because that's not my game. Very, very impressive. I'd love to see the 23. What do you think the most impressive thing you've done in CrossFit type fitness is so far?
We did an EMOM a couple of months back, which I probably is one of the most mentally hard workouts I've done. Very simple. It was the first minute 20 cal row, second minute 15 burpees, and you repeat for an hour.
20 and 15. I have not done that. I did 18 and 18 for an hour, and it was burpees over the rower a couple years ago. But again, the row, like those extra 2 calories, I don't think I can row like that. So
that'd be
very,
tough. Yeah,
very impressive.
I don't know really. Probably the Miko triangle, just because I'm good at machines, so it comes a little bit easier to me, that sort of stuff.
I don't think there's anyone out there who could hang with that. I feel like I was describing you to one of my friends earlier, and I look at Hepner's stuff, and pretty much almost every day, Hepner does something that I'm like, pretty much nobody else could do this. And I see that for like most of your training, like you'll be like casually like holding 20 cows on the assault bike. I'm like, dude, nobody else is hanging on to 20 cows on the assault bike like that.
Yeah.
Very impressive stuff.
Thank you, mate. It's a very big thing from an athlete like you have kind of watched for years, so it means a lot.
Oh shoot, man! I'm just a dude. I've been watching you all the same. It's funny to hear that because again, I remember watching the regionals, so I was like, man, I wish I was there, and like watching you go there and stuff. So it's cool to. I think something too about our sport, like which I hope we don't lose, as we kind of transition into this new model where it might be a little more professional. Is like how easy it is for amateurs to like get in and kind of move up the ranks, and that could be just because the sport's young, like we haven't optimized completely yet. But it seems kind of like if you work hard enough and you stick around for a long enough time, you'll get good enough to where you can compete at a high level. Yeah. And there's a lot of genetics involved and stuff too. So like, it's not that easy, but like we're both, we're watching each other compete at a high level before. And then like, now we're there. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Someone's got a good question. When you first begin to get serious about competing, what was the process of going from 1 hour WODs to full training days?
You're probably better suited to answer this one.
So for the biggest change I felt as an athlete was when I started dedicating my time solely to training. So before, I know you have a full-time job, don't you, Chandler? But for me, it was when I stopped coaching pretty much at all, and I literally just focused on training. So then it allowed me to get as much sleep as I needed, my hour of cardio in the morning, and then I can go home, I can just make sure I refuel the body, I can rest, I can get a nap if I need a nap, and then I'm really ready to go again for my evening session. So I think a big difference, if you want to go to like twice a day training and try and maintain that for weeks on end, I think for me it's got to be your sole purpose, because trying to juggle a full-time job and do all that training on top is very tough. But I know Chad's going to have a very different sort of scenario to mine.
It's been interesting because I've like in college, my as a wrestler, shout out Army Wrestling, always representing. My like training volume was actually higher than it is now because we condition in the morning to cut weight, and then you'd lift in the middle of the day, and then you go to wrestling practice for 2 hours, and then you condition again at the end of the day. So I did that for 4 hours, like condition to cut weight. I did that for 4 years. That's between 3 to 6 hours of working out every day, and then like I started doing baseline CrossFit, like go to class, whatever, after and doing like I moved from that to Invictus, but the volume hasn't ever really been an issue. I'd say it's probably the biggest issue now because I'm like trying to learn how to apply more intensity than I did beforehand because I've never been super good at like the shorter, sprinty or traditional CrossFit style stuff. So that part wasn't the jump. The jump's always been the intensity for me. I don't have that like that button to hit, you know?
Yeah. Favorite Nocco flavor?
Easy Caribbean. Is it that
Really?
pronounced that right? Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be easy for me. It'd be the limp stop.
So we don't have that one. And I like asked about it. I was like, hey, can you guys give me some?
That is the best.
I saw you say that Simon Montila. I don't want to pronounce his name wrong, but he also said that's the best flavor. And then there's another one that you guys have over there that looks really good that we don't have. I like ice. Oh. Have you had that one?
Is it the ice soda?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got that as well. That's nice, but it's not lemon de sol.
Dang it. All right. Well, I'm going to continue to complain about that every time I post something and then like ask for some, like see if they can somehow get me some from over there. Dang it, man. That's a bummer.
It's so good. First, from starting Olympic weightlifting, how long did it take to snatch 100 kilos? I don't know, but I 100% power snatched it before I squat snatched it.
Oh, yeah. The mobility, the strength is there when you come into the sport, but the mobility takes some time to develop.
Yeah.
I think it took me 2 years because I did in my sophomore year of college to hit 235. So
I think it would have took me longer, probably. When's the first time I hit it? Yeah, probably about 3 years for me, I reckon. Just because mobility issues would have been a big issue. And I remember I was trying to get really good at squat snatching. And I was like, I just can't hit this 100 kilos. Mm-hmm. And then my coach Harmony was like, just power snatch it. And I just power snatched it. And I was like, oh, that's easier. Should just power snatch it all the time.
Oh, is that easy? That's crazy to hear because, there's some people who, spend their whole lives like trying to get strong enough to snatch it. And you're like, oh, I just got to do the harder version, but that's easier for my mobility. And it's that easy. Real casual.
Someone's put overtraining and our input. I think overtraining is so varied to the athlete. Like someone could do our program and it could absolutely annihilate them. Or we could do someone else's program and find it not intense, but they could find it intense. So I think it's very dependent on the athlete and what suits them, I think.
Absolutely. Like I think again for both of us who do more traditional strength and traditional conditioning and then like kind of do a little less CrossFit, like trying to do as much CrossFit as a guy like Hepner, really Hep, because I kind of grew up around him and like he does like he'll do like he used to do like 4 Met counts a day. He trains a little different now, but like I would do that and I'd be wrecked for a week. But then also I can go and like hit a heavy single back squat and then go run 5 miles at a decent pace, and then like I'll be fine the next day. Travis Williams, another guy who I've trained with, and like he's more Metcon heavy and can sustain a big volume and a lot of intensity in that capacity, but like less than me and like the straight conditioning and like straight lifting side. So I think your point is pretty on board.
Yeah. Will you two go to the games? Chandler's definitely going to the games, and I am not sure.
I believe it.
All depends on what happens with athletes not being able to fly and whatnot.
That's a good question. What'd you train today?
What did I train today? What was it? Saturday. So today I did. It was 15 deadlifts, 10 bar facing burpees, 5 bar muscle-ups, 5 rounds, and the weight on the deadlifts went 100 to 140 kilograms. And then we did a 100-foot handstand walk. It had to be in 2 50-foot unbroken sections, 10 clean and jerks at 60, 10 ring muscle-ups, 3 rounds. And then we did some strict handstand press-up EBOM every 30 seconds for 5 minutes.
What was the weight on the strict press?
It was strict handstand press-ups.
Okay, got it. My bad.
So I did alternate between 6 and 7 every 30 seconds for 5 minutes.
Cool.
So they're like a big weakness of mine, so I need to get them better.
That's a yeah. Actually, I want to say I remember in 2019 that workout was a tough one for you, but then the next time that I saw you do it, like the improvement there was already pretty huge. I remember doing one of the EMOMs that you posted that had the strict handstand press ups in it, and I was like, man, like I did not finish that, and I was like, I thought I was better than him at those. So you put in a lot of work there and got a lot better there already.
Yeah, that was the workout that cost me the game spot that year, which was devastating.
Yeah,
I think I did that workout 6 times over the 3 or 4 days.
6 times? How?
I got worse every time. But I was like, I just need to try. I just got to try and do something here.
I feel that.
Yeah, it proper screwed me up that one.
Man, I this last year for 20.5, I did it 4 times, and that was way too much because all the wall balls are my people are asking like weakest movements. I suck at anything like here and pushing up, mostly thrusters, but also wall balls, and like that was just miserable to do. How many was it? 80 wall balls in that workout?
Yeah, but it was the way you could choose. It just made it so you had to do it several times because you just didn't know which was the best way.
What'd you end up choosing?
I can't even remember now. I definitely left the row to the end. I know that.
All of it? The straight 80?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I can't remember how I split the 2 up, but I split them up and left the row to the end. And that was an extremely painful end to the workout. But
yeah,
I know I can always smash out a decent amount of pace. I'm not very good at transitioning between things, so because I'm quite a slow mover, I'm not very good at quickly going to muscle ups and quickly get on the row. I just waste too much time. So I knew if I just minimise transitions and I'm good enough rower to kind of row hard for the whole age.
It's interesting to hear that. I feel like we have a lot of similar strengths and weaknesses across things, like both like longer workouts. Our conditioning on the machines is pretty high. Not necessarily like crazy rep speed people, like a lot of top end strength. So like, what do you do? Are you comfortable with those weaknesses? Or like, what are you doing to fix them? Because if you're using it to fix it, I might be able to use it like fix it too.
Yeah, I think I've started to do, like I said, I do a lot of like EMOMs, like 30 sort of minute EMOMs, and I'm trying to like cut them down to like 9-minute EMOMs, but just cram a lot more reps into the minute. So I have to move fast to be able to do it. So instead of like a 30-minute EMOM, I'll do 4 lots of 9-minute EMOMs with 4-minute rest in between. But I'll cram a lot of reps into those minutes because I have to move quick to get it done. Or I just focus on a lot of like 4 or 5-minute AMRAP style workouts where I'm literally working at very high intensity for 5 minutes, having a rest and doing like 6 rounds of that.
Yeah.
Just to try and increase that rep speed and train with people that are very good at rep speed workouts.
I think that's actually something I could probably incorporate a little bit more of is those AMRAPs those AMRAP rest AMRAPs. We programmed a good amount of them last year for Misfit stuff, and I think we just haven't had as many of them this year. So something worthwhile for me to throw in.
Someone's put if the season goes back to the old style with regionals, will you still hit other events like Sid and Field 150? I would definitely still hit those events 100%.
Yeah, it's fun. The community's there, and then also if you're a professional, right? Like we are trying to be. Like if you have to make money to, be able to pay for rent and stuff. So regionals like don't cut it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Sid's one of my favourite events, obviously because it's in the UK and I get a big support there.
I need to get out there next year. You guys did the road 100%. Thing. You ran. It seemed like a lot of fun.
That was so cool, but it was so like daunting because no one had a clue what they were doing.
How'd you do it?
I did all right. I think I was like mid pack.
Okay.
I had a really good sort of start and middle of the race, and I think I got too overconfident, and I just messed it up. So you lose all your speed.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a super cool experience, and I just didn't want to fall in the water. That was like my main concern. Just don't fall out of the boat. Do not get out of the boat.
Well, they hooked you guys up with like Olympians, right? to
Yeah,
help?
he was, Cam Nichol. I've done a few things with him, and he's a super cool guy. So we got a few tutorials, and yeah, it's such a cool event. Like, when do you get the chance to do that? It was pretty cool.
Never, man. There's so much cool stuff that like that's why I mean I know the sport's going to survive, but I think that's why I've been so invested in helping make sure it survives because like I would probably have not gone to Dubai by the time I turned 26. Like without CrossFit,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have
exactly.
friends in Britain. Like you know what I mean? There's just so many things that have happened
Yeah, it's wicked.
because of it. So
Yeah, yeah. Someone says, how do I keep up my pace on my EMOMs? I've worked very hard on them for 6 years, so it takes a very long time to
yeah,
build that capacity up. But
man.
I think people don't really realize that.
Folks always and you know people are always willing to want to say like it's this, they're cheating, they're doing this, blah blah blah. But like you said, it took you 6 years to get to the games. You've been going full time for 4 years since 2016 of like not even coaching. Like your full time goal is getting better as an athlete. So when
Yeah,
the hard work and the time and then also the genetic potential lines up, I think there's a lot more that's possible than people know just because not everybody has the time to train like we do, works as hard as like you do, or, you know, has just like the flat out genetic abilities to do it. So I think like it's a lot more than what's seen. Like folks see the end result now that you
yeah,
got 150,000 followers and like people are like, oh, like I can watch this. Like this guy just popped out of nowhere to do this. But they're like, if they would have seen, you know, if they see me trying to clean 5 years ago, it's bad now, but how bad was it 5 years ago? If they see you trying to do handstands
yeah,
however many
yeah,
years ago,
definitely.
like you've come so far and
Yeah,
people just like get at this point, they see it and they're like, oh, this is not any good. You're terrible here. And it's like, man, like it's more than that. I
yeah.
promise.
Yeah, exactly. Like some of the gymnastic EMOMs I do. I remember on Toaster Bar, I think I
Mm-hmm.
started doing 3 every minute for 10 minutes. And like, if I said that to people now, they would never believe. They would think I'm lying because they would never believe that I wouldn't be able to do more than that. But that was 6 years ago when I was learning to do Toaster Bar, and 3 or 4 every minute was very tough for me. Um,
Even since then, I remember doing one that you did. You don't know this, but hold on a second. Back in 2000, fall of 2018, there was one you did that was every 12 minutes, and I want to say it was like 11. And then now you're doing that same like that same time frame for like sets of 15. But I remember like trying to
yeah,
do that, I couldn't do that, and then now I see the ones that you're doing, and they're ones that I can do now or come close
yeah,
to, and it's like, man, like that's 2 years and that's 4 reps, and then if you go another 2 years before that, like it adds up. You didn't just wake up like this, and
yeah,
so
exactly. So
I've seen the work and I respect it a lot too. So in
thank you,
case
man.
you
Very
don't
much
get to hear that,
appreciated.
yeah.
Yeah, very much appreciated. What else have we got in there? Any good sprint workouts? I don't really have any. I don't know if you mean running, sprinting, or like sprinting on machines. But if you want a good workout for sprinting on machines, I've got a good one, which is absolutely horrendous. So for me, I always aim to get it under a minute. So it's 20 cal bike, 20 burpees over bar. I'll try and get it under a minute. Rest, I think it's 4 minutes, and you do that for 6 rounds, and it's absolutely horrendous.
What type of bike are we talking? I'll write it down on my board.
Assault bike.
20. All right, 20 cal assault bike. 16 burpees over.
20 burpees over hour.
Good gracious! And
You're
1
doing
minute.
it now?
No, not now. But I'm writing it down.
Oh,
You said in 1 minute.
yeah. Aim to get sub-minute.
Yeah, that's not happening in 1 minute, but that's something I need to work on. Is that like high
Yeah,
level output
I'll
stuff?
send you. I'll after this, I'll look on my Instagram and I'll screenshot my times and I'll send it to you.
I don't need to. I don't need that. I got to keep my ego intact, so that would hurt my feelings.
I'll because I can't remember if it's 3 minutes rest. I wouldn't have maintained sub-minute every time. I think I did for the first 2 rounds, and then I was close on the last round. But I'll send them you anyway. But
Okay.
yeah, it's my goal is on that workout is to be able to do every round under a minute. So I'm working towards that.
I'll be lucky if I get one. So that's phenomenal.
Someone's put, can you sway side to side to match Chandler's rhythm?
They can't hear it, so
There you go,
I have
yeah.
headphones on, and I'm like, I hear you, but I'm also playing all of the cool British music you play. Who do you listen to, man? I don't know enough British rap to get into it, but
So I love old grime. So when it wasn't really mainstream, so
before it
people
was
who are
cool.
kind of like like Wiley who invented grime, Dizzy Rascal, P Money, Devlin. They're probably like my main sort of people I'd listen to. Someone like Getz as well, Skepta, his old stuff.
Actually,
Um,
I love Skepta only because I didn't know about him, but he won the Mercury Award in 2016 for Konnichiwa. And
Yeah.
I tried to be big at reading music. That's actually one of my favorite rap albums of the last decade. The last one wasn't, it was that, but I don't know anything about the older guys like
You
Disney.
made me laugh with that Radio 1 Extra clip that you put on with Lethal Bizzle.
Dude, that's hype, man. Actually, I love that
Yeah.
whole thing. I've watched all 20 minutes of that before, but I was like, as soon as I knew that I was doing this with you, I was like, I need to find a way to get that clip involved in there somehow.
Have you seen the one with Craig David? Was he on that one?
No, but I do like Craig David.
I'll send you a clip with Craig David does one, and it's wicked, so good.
Oh, that's a good question. But yeah, if you send it to me, then give me. If you do Spotify, that person asked for a Spotify playlist. I would like the Spotify playlist too, so I could.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't actually know. I do have Spotify, and you just create a playlist, and you can let anyone see it.
Yeah. I put it up. If you put it as like a link on your story, you can be like, "Yo, check out my blah blah blah," and then people can steal it, like myself.
Here's a good. What's your favorite cheat meal to demolish?
Demolish makes it sound so aggressive. Like
I know, yeah.
I eat like I don't eat that aggressively. I wish I demolish food. There's this new Ben and Jerry's flavor called Netflix and Chilled. It's got peanut butter ice cream in it. That might be. It's not like a meal, but I'll treat it like a meal because there's like 1,200 calories in that one thing. So that's probably it. What about you?
Mine would definitely be donuts.
Donuts. Okay.
Yeah, I love donuts.
I wonder if like British donuts are better than American donuts.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know. Have you been to the States before?
Yeah, I was in Miami. Was this year? Yeah, in Miami.
Okay.
Which is amazing. But I've not tried around the States too much, so I'd love to come and train. That'd be awesome.
The invite is there, man. We got a cool garage
That'd be
here.
so good.
My job might even let you come and hang out since the Army is cool sometimes, and let's folks do that. So whenever you're open and the world is letting people travel again, then come on.
Yeah, I'd love it.
Always down.
Do you wanna pick like 2 more questions? I'll pick 2 because I don't want to keep you for too long.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, this is actually a really good one. Guys, do you have any other goals that you want to achieve outside of CrossFit? Which is like, that's life. That's more important than purpose.
Yeah, that's deep question.
Yeah.
I think for me, after sort of my competitive CrossFit career, I think family is such a big thing for me. So having some kids and just kind of providing the best life for them would be like my next aim. Yeah, for me, like at the minute, my sole aim is to get to the games and compete there and sort of live the life as a full-time athlete. But then after that, it would be providing the best for my family as best as I can and making sure they've got the best life. So that would definitely be my motivation after that.
Yeah, I definitely want to be a cool family man like Brian Girardi and some of these people who've commented with a bunch of kids, because I got a bunch of friends who have kids. But I think for me, I want a job that lets me like spend a ton of time with my family, because you only get one life to live. And I told you, I did that Bulgaria thing, and I was away from a lot of people for a long time. And it's like I don't want to spend my whole life away from people I care about. So that's my
100%.
My goal.
Yeah.
How
many rest days? How many rest days per week do we have? So for me, I train at high volume. I train twice a day, Monday, Tuesday. I'll train fitness in the morning on Wednesday, and then I'll have a swimming session Wednesday afternoon, twice Thursday, twice Friday, twice Saturday, and then a rest on Sunday. So 1 total rest day. But then a Wednesday is a lighter day where I won't do anything too intense, like weight-wise.
I've seen that. It's a lie. You say that. Oh, weight-wise. Weight-wise, true. Lung-wise, not true. Because I see some of the stuff you do on Wednesdays. I'm like, that's a recovery day? Like, I couldn't do that on my best day.
Yeah, I do that. Just a bit of a joke as well. Just call it Active Wednesday, yeah.
Well, I've been totally fooled, and I was like, this guy is out of his mind. Good to know that that's a joke. For me, it's probably like 1 full rest day, like every other Sunday. My buddy Had and I normally run. We haven't as much recently because most of these competitions don't have running in them as much, but we'll normally run on Sundays, and then like Thursdays I do jiu-jitsu. And I know, like I said, for my recovery days, the more that I just don't lift. Like I've been kind of taking it easy for the last 2 weeks, and it doesn't mean that I haven't been like breathing hard or anything. I just haven't been like lifting a ton,
Yeah. Do you want to choose another one?
Yes. Let's see. One more time. Okay, so there was one here, and I think it's probably pretty relevant to both of us. I think you're 30, correct?
Yeah, well, 30 on Monday, mate.
Oh, dude, you have the same birthday? You kidding me? July 13th?
Yeah, shut up.
That's wild. Yeah, yeah.
You serious?
Yeah, the odds of that are exactly 1 in 365. That's pretty phenomenal. Yeah,
You,
I
you,
turned
you, you honestly on Monday?
yeah, 27, July 13th, 1993.
What? That's
That's really funny.
crazy.
Well, happy early birthday to you.
So, that's
Super
great.
cool. Um, man,
How
all
old are
right,
you going to be?
27.
Wow, that's so cool.
That threw me off of whatever the question was because
Yeah,
that's
what was the question?
the odds. There's something about guy said he was 20 and he was asking for like the best pieces of advice that you could give to someone who's 20 and is like a college student and everything trying to train.
For CrossFit, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say I always give advice to like younger athletes is be patient. So you'll see a lot of guys like me and Chandler, and we've done it for several years. So we didn't go into this being able to snatch 100 kilos or do a shitloads of muscle ups, things like that. So it's very easy as a young person to get carried away and want to do those things straight away when it's taken us 5, 6 years to be able to do them. So you're extremely young. You've got lots of time ahead of you. Do learn the basics well. Get your mobility sorted, so you've got less risk of injury, and just take time and enjoy and know you've got many years till you hit your peak.
yeah.
So that's what I'd say.
I think the patience part's the most important thing. Like you, especially in the Instagram world, right? Like I see your emails. I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that, but then it's like I would have to do the same build to get there that you would, and even then there's a chance that I couldn't do that. So understanding like it's not what you're seeing from other people is it's like it's closer to their finished product, and especially at age 20, you're not at your finished product yet. But if you stay consistent, which is probably the operative word in any of this stuff, like as nice as it is to give yourself long breaks or like lose focus, like the cumulative effect of getting 1% better over 6 years versus getting 1% better for 2 years, taking a year off and then 1% better, like it's a massive difference. So staying consistent and then being patient are what will get you to the place that you want to be eventually. It might not be in a time frame that you like and that you want, but eventually that's how you're going to maximize your potential.
Yeah, and then one, your movement nemesis. So for me, that's pretty easy. I'm shocking at pistols because of my ankles. I just can't do that. I can't practice them very often. If I try and train them, I'll be injury after a couple of weeks. So pistols is something I have to sort of work around. Box jumps, I can't rebound because of my ankle, so that's another thing. And then rope climbs are my sort of three worst movements.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. Like us bigger guys normally tougher. Wall balls, short, long arms, weird movement pattern for me. Thrusters, again, same exact thing. Front rack is pretty legendarily terrible as much as training as I try to do for it. And then
Is that just mobility issues, or have you had an injury in the past that prevents sort of certain movements? Or
I think it's more mobility than anything else. And something that I give myself, I try to explain it to folks, and whether or not people believe me is up to them. But like I have physiologically, it's a difficult position to get in. I don't think my mobility's bad. Like the overhead stuff that I do, like I'm very competitive in those areas. It's just like if you have longer bones in certain areas, it's always going to be hard. Not an excuse. And then strict handstand press ups or any sort of handstand work of any kind. Like just have never felt really good and in rhythm for that stuff. So that's what we're working on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we could be here for ages answering all these questions, but we'd have to probably call it there and let you get on with your session if you've got one planned.
Got to try to catch up to you somehow. So we'll see if I can make some move.
You beat me in the open, mate. So you're ahead of me already.
That was ages ago now. Like it's all about what have you done for me lately. So I get ready for this next open, whenever it does happen. So we'll see how it shakes out. But I'd like to do this again. Maybe we can do it after the games and talk about that. And
definitely. I'll send you that Craig David video. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it.
Yes, please. Yeah, that'd be great. He's ever since I heard 7 days when I was a youngster, I've always appreciated the efforts of Mr. David. So
yeah. If anyone's got any questions for me personally, just feel free to drop me a message on Instagram, and I'll happily answer your questions, and I'm sure Chandler would as well. So
For sure.
Thanks again, Chandler. Lovely chatting to you, mate.
Yeah, man. Appreciate your time. I will see you in 6 weeks. I'm believing it. I'm speaking life into it. So I'm believing that I'll
Thanks,
catch
brother.
you out there. All right, man. I'll see you.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Peace out.
Cheers, man. Bye.